the kind of the bigger news, so I guess I'll go with this. Gilbert, your Spirit Airlines buddy is not happy right now. Your
Rikishi?
Spirit Airlines brethren. He has been kind of going off a little bit. Let's listen to a little bit from his show. Off the top, or Rikishi Fatu off the top pod. Listen to this.
Well, you know what? It comes from the head of the corporate table. As far as I posted out on my social media about this matter with I like to call my son the Yeet Man. And I mentioned this is no favoritism to him or just anyone, but as wrestlers, as a wrestler that's been there, put in work, and you can see the outpouring of love and support from the fans, whether it be Jey Uso or somebody else. And that was my question, the same thing that you're asking, because I want to know, what is it that this kid has to do? We can see he's probably the hottest intro when this kid is coming out. The fan, you talk about the fan engagement ability, a guy that shows up and shows out, a guy that does his job. What is it? Does it hurt champion belt? Obviously, them writers don't know where to put you or where you can write something that's right for the character of Jey Uso, the Yeet Man.
So basically,
hey, I was thinking about that too, to be honest. So I like that from Rikishi.
Well, so Rikishi was basically going off about how his son, he doesn't feel like his son has gotten a fair shake as of late. WWE listened because tonight they put him in the three-way match and in a triple threat, and the winner of that match faces the winner of the other triple threat, and then they'll face off to see who challenges for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm sure it'll be Jey. But I think the WWE is getting ready for the Bloodline storyline, and Jay's going to be added to that. So it's kind of like, if we throw him in there at the same time, like we need him there. We need him focused on that. So I get it, but at this, and then the other thing is he did say, let me try and find the quote that he basically said, because I don't want to get this wrong. But he was basically saying that he was not happy that Jey didn't get the Money in the Bank a couple of months ago, that he thought that he should have been the Money in the Bank winner. He basically said, crap. This kid is so good. WWE ain't the only spot. He could probably go to AEW if he wants to write his own ticket. Maybe more than what WWE is making on him. Hopefully they turn it around and do the right thing by the Yeet Man. Now, let me go back to what Rikishi basically said. He said he wasn't happy that he didn't win the Money in the Bank. I can't remember who won it. Well, whatever.
Dance Boy,
Drew McIntyre. Yeah. And then he ended up cashing it in, and it didn't go anywhere. So thank you, Gilbert, for that one.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't happy that he hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship, even though he's hot. Gilbert, I've shown you the videos of his entrance.
Oh, yeah.
People are excited. People love him. It is kind of a shame that that he hasn't been getting pushed, but I really do think that Bloodline storyline is in the back of their minds, and they're like, hey, yeah, we need to have him. We need to show him out. But at the same time, let's pull him back a little bit because we have that coming up. So I can understand Rikishi's frustration, but it's his son. He said, not because he's my son. No, it is because he's your son. Like, you want the best for your kids, and that's fine. You were in the business for years, so I'm not going to tell you how to think. But at the same time, let's be honest. It is because he's your son that you're like, yeah, no, he deserves more. He deserves to be doing that. But no, Ricochet just debuted in AEW, Gilbert, and it didn't go so well for him.
Really? I didn't know that.
He didn't end up winning his match. So they ended up giving it. Oh, by the way, AEW now did a thing where if you win a gauntlet match, you now have a chance to cash in that win and choose a champion of your choosing and cash it in whenever you want. Yeah, just like the Money in the Bank. Get the hell out of here. Like, I was like, I don't know. This seems smells a little different to me. But
I think copyright there.
Yeah, but I don't like that talent tries to threaten with using WWE or using AEW. Like, I don't like that, but I do think Jey Uso is one of the bigger names in WWE. But at the same time, I mean, I think they're revving up for this bloodline storyline and for Jey to be a part of it.
Yeah, I could see. I'm gonna make a point here, but I think it's all family for Rikishi. But you're gonna favor, your son, but also, you're also getting a lot of love for all your sons. You see what the other Uso brothers are doing. You see what Solo Sikoa is doing. Even the extended family, what they're doing. And maybe in a way that helps them out. Like they're all getting love, but you want to get more love for main event Jey Uso, the Yeet Man, which I like that, the Yeet Man, because those intros, the way he's getting the crowd into, the way you say it in wrestling world, like he's so over, like he has that. And I thought Money in the Bank, and we were talking about it, Fernando, like, yeah, I'm picking Jey Uso, and you wanted to as well, but it's like it's too obvious. It's like it seems like
He
it's
was
the
on the
easy one.
poster.
Yeah, and it's like they didn't do it. That seemed like an opportunity right there. They went a different way, like with Drew McIntyre. But like part of me is kind of like, why can't he get what Solo Sikoa is getting? Like that, I get he's fighting with Roman Reigns, but that's big time, all eyeballs on you. And I'm not saying Jey Uso has ever had status like that, but like he just seems ready for like a big singles title run, or at least compete, be in that picture. But ended up being Solo. I get that. That's great storyline. That's also great writing there for the writers. But you want to see something similar for Jey Uso. And honestly, I was thinking like, man, like I saw a couple of clips of him hitting on mommy. Cool, he's out there going a little viral, and that's it. I don't know anything else. Me, the casual. So you want to appeal to the casual? I don't see much from Jey. I see Dominic, Liv Morgan, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley, and I see the Bloodline Civil War going at it. So that's it for the casuals. But I'm not seeing much of Jey Uso besides some viral videos of him going yeet.
I love this. Hey, they're probably smoking Mike Tyson's weed.
Hey, some promos there.
And then Nancy said, "Imagine 24 hours with Luke Flair." I couldn't.
Hey, seeing that documentary on how many beers he pounds too, like I can't. He's gonna be like, "Hey, another beer." I can't do it. No. Man. I can't keep up.
But yeah, no, I understand where, like I said, I understand where Rikishi's coming from. But Rikishi's now the retired vet that like he could say stuff and there's no repercussions. So I don't know. I get it, but I think they're ramping up for and I mean you go to AEW and what you're gonna get lost. Look at how many free agents they've signed. Man. AEW, and they haven't really
that terrible match with what is it, Mercedes Moné, which is going right now.
Hold on, I got something for we'll get back to Bash of Berlin. Guess what?
Go back to bashing AEW right now.
No, I'm not bashing. Okay,
Tony Khan, friend of the show.
No, he's a friend of the show. Bash in Berlin. Let's go first. Undisputed WWE champion of the world, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. This has been kind of a weird storyline. Yeah. There's rumors that Kevin Owens' contract is coming up, and that's the reason why they've kind of thrown him into the main event of this pay-per-view. I think it's going to be a great match. I think Kevin Owens is one of the best, if not the best worker in WWE. Never complains. He's always works. He always throws himself off of whatever they need him to. Whatever they need, Kevin Owens always delivers. So
he delivered that one time where what's it called, LA Knight and AJ Styles threw it down, and and Kevin Owens were giving the play-by-play. That was pretty cool.
Kevin Owens, friend of the show, another friend of the show. So but this was kind of weird because Cody's like, fight me. Kevin Owens said, no, I respect you too much. Then they finally decided that they're going to fight. I think it's going to end up being Kevin Owens turns heel. We'll see what happens in that route. But I got Cody Rhodes winning it. I don't think they're going to take the belt off of him, even though I'd love to see Kevin Owens with the belt. I think Kevin Owens is one of the best workers in WWE. I loved talking to him. He was awesome that time that we got to chat with him. He also followed us, and he's like, great reporting, walking around with the thing still going. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I got Cody winning. Gilbert, I'm sure you're on the same.
It's way too soon to strip Cody Rhodes from the title. So I like Kevin Owens a lot, especially after that encounter we had with him in Philadelphia. But Cody Rhodes for sure.
It's off the rails there. That's the British for you. And then Nancy throws out, not a friend of Compas of the show. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't want to bash AEW too much. I do like Tony Khan, but like it just feels like when you go to Target, you go to WWE, and then when you go to Walmart, it's AEW. What's going on over here, man? So yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Brett said, I wonder if Braun Breaker is making his mark because his dad and uncle are making voice clips. Yeah, I mean, I think Braun's really freaking good at what he's doing. I don't want to criticize Jey, but the in-ring work still needs work to be had. That's why I think him and his brother had a terrible match at WrestleMania. I don't think their styles are really tough when it comes to one-on-one matches. So that, and I thought Solo actually did a really good job again. That's the thing when you've been a tag team for so long, and then they ask you to do solo matches. That's kind of that's when it gets tough. And I think Solo came up being a solo act, so he's actually a better wrestler than one-on-one wrestler than those guys. So just a little criticism there, so people don't think it's just AEW bashing. I've been critical of Jey Uso as a wrestler, so yeah. Gilbert, a leather strap match. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. That means they both will be strapped with a belt, and they have to touch all four corners. Drew McIntyre.
I've never been a fan of that type of match. I'll just say that.
You've never been a fan?
Not really. So it's a little weird.
I don't like that they're like they're about to go touch it and they're pulling them.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they're not. Yeah, it's a little.
I'm surprised when you said it right now. They're still trying to make it a thing, but all right.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's a match that Cody Rhodes' father made. Well, no, he had the one with the bell one. That's the one that he made famous. But I got CM Punk winning. I think Drew won last time, so I think CM Punk is going to win this time. I think CM Punk gets his first win in WWE in over a decade, so I'm sure everybody will be excited about that. Berlin will be excited. CM Punk has fans all over the world, so I'm waiting to see if Punk is on that one. What do you mean, Brett? By I'm waiting to see if Punk is on that one, like if he's gonna win a match, or what did you mean? My bad. I didn't know what you meant. But are you gonna go? Oh, you can't just get behind Punk. You know what's funny, yeah. Brett? Dan and Dago's on the same route. He doesn't like this new version of Punk. He thinks that, and I mean, I get it. Punk's coming back. He's trying to not ruffle feathers. He's really over. Okay, yeah. It'll be interesting to see if what Punk will do, but I agree with you. It's been a little, I think once you get Seth and CM Punk in there, I've liked the promos actually between Punk and yeah, Brett, I get it. People think that Punk sometimes thinks too high of himself. So I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Gilbert, is this also your best tag team ever? I think you are. That is your tag team, isn't it? The Hardy Boys?
It's tough, but I got to really think about it. But from the era of the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, even Too Cool, Rikishi, I think the Hardy Boys were the best from that group.
Okay. Yeah, the Hardy Boys were something. Now, bro, they literally sacrificed their bodies for everything, to be honest. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio. I'll just be quick on this. I already said it 2 weeks ago. Liv and Mysterio need to win this match. Rhea and Damian don't need this. They need this. So I definitely think that they should win it. And then last one, the Ring General Gunther, World Heavyweight Champion Gunther versus Randy Orton. I've actually liked their promos going back and forth. I think Gunther's going to win. I think Gunther's on another planet right now. So I definitely think that that he is going to win. So that is the preview for Bash in Berlin. They'll probably make more matches this week, but they usually like to keep it. Gilbert, I've been telling you, they've kept it at 5 to 6 matches to not like suffocate the card, which I actually really like. I think it's smart. I think it lets talent have more time to tell their story. The only thing is that it keeps out less talent from being on the card. So you take rushing or more talent. So I completely get it, but I promised you I had another video for you. So friend of the show, Montes Ford, was in Belgium, and people were recognizing him, but not for who you think he got recognized for.
These people. Oh my God, we're in Germany. Like these people yelling LeBron James. Literally, this little boy like LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Oh my God. The fact we went to Hawaii. It just happened before. This man do not look like no LeBron James. I mean, literally, this little boy was so weird. Come over here and ask for a picture. Oh God! Because this is not LeBron.
He's not as tall or as bulky as LeBron.
He said, "LeBron James." I hope he's not following us. This is gonna be so.
Oh, here we go. Let's see.
Huh? No, he's inside the park though. We just heard LeBron James.
I didn't look back because I don't want to acknowledge something, but I felt bad.
Oh, you could hear it.
You look back and he's like,
Yeah, you can't turn around. Like, it's not your name. Don't do it.
So I just want to know how you feel about breaking his little boy heart in a few.
Yeah, you got to do it.
I'm all about the kids, and it just hurts my heart that when I get over there, he's gonna terribly realize like I'm not. But the fact that I look back and wave, now he's
back.
Because
Why would you wave back?
Because I didn't want to not acknowledge the child. You have
you wave, so you probably
I can't even talk. That's how nervous I am. I'm so nervous right now. I can't even talk. I did want to not acknowledge the child.
That is hilarious. By the way, Montes Ford is a way better individual than LeBron James in the sense of like he's more personable. LeBron James is So yeah, Montez is a nice guy. I think wrestlers in general are pretty nice. They're just some guy like CM Punk. If you ask CM Punk for an autograph or a picture, I'm sure he ain't gonna greet you in the nicest ways. But Montez seems like he's a guy that is awesome. Nancy, I think Gilbert and I share the same thought that Eddie Guerrero was one of the guys that made us fall in love. Well, for me, he made me fall in love with wrestling. I think it was Eddie and The Undertaker and Rey Mysterio that kind of did it for me. I think those three, obviously Rey and Eddie being Mexican was awesome. And then Undertaker just because of the aura, that was awesome. But yeah, no, Eddie Guerrero is one of the greatest of all time. I really think that he made his persona work. I read in his book that his accent wasn't as thick as he laid it on the show. So obviously that was pretty interesting, but it was a sad day when he passed away. And reading his book, it just made you think like that was one of the reasons why I've been straight edge my whole life. Like I read his book and like he talked about all the drugs, all the alcohol that he did. And he was straight edge the last like 5 or 6 years of his the last 5 or 6 years of his life, he was straight edge, and unfortunately came back and haunted him. But Gilbert, we're just real quick, what are your thoughts on that?
He's definitely one of my favorites. Like obviously it's easy to root for Stone Cold, easy to root for The Rock, The Undertaker, guys like that who are big time in the WWE during that time. So you admire the way that Eddie Guerrero had to fight for everything that he got and to earn it. And obviously he was popular with the cruiserweight era in WCW, but even after when he moved over to WWE or WWF at the time, it's like, okay, what do? You're like a small fish in a giant pond here, and to have you lie, you cheat, you steal storyline and embrace who you are, your background, and doing everything at the same time, being yourself, also being your culture, being amazing in the ring, putting your body on the line, being hilarious on the mic. Like he doesn't get enough credit for being one of the best in the microphone. Yeah, he might have having a thick accent, but those promos where he just kind of like speaking from the bottom of his heart, you could tell he's going through that on a daily basis and say, you're not going to take anything from me because I've lost a lot of things like that. So I love the character, the way he built during that era where like they were trying to pump up John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Bautista, Randy Orton. And it's like, nah, what about me, Eddie Guerrero, man? And Rey Mysterio at the same time too. It was great us being Latinos to see the way he fought for the attention and the way he was adored by the fans.
And I understand that there's a lot of controversy when you say the name Chris Benoit in wrestling, but that moment where Eddie and Chris Benoit are in the ring crying after WrestleMania 20 when Eddie retains against Brock Lesnar and then Chris won his World Heavyweight Championship. Like that was one of the great, or maybe he retained against Kurt Angle. I can't remember which one he did. No. It was against Brock Lesnar. But it was just one of the greatest moments. I thought it was awesome to see Eddie Guerrero do that. And then obviously when Eddie passed away, to give Rey that chance to go out and get that champion. By the way, I saw that clip again the other day where Randy Orton's like, Rey, you're looking up into the heavens talking to Eddie Guerrero, but there's one problem, buddy. Eddie's not up there in heaven. He's down there in hell. And like laugh in his face, the smile, like the look on his face, I was like, damn, like I would love to do a sit down with Randy Orton one day. I'd love to ask him about some of those moments and see how he got into that. But Vic just told us saw someone suggest Pedro Pascal should play him. Oh, that actually would be
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm with it.
Him or Dominic Mysterio, one of the two should definitely play him.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio having a custody battle for Dominic, I don't think the storyline with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan and Dominic would have been just as
and
good.
I told you, Dominic Mysterio said that Vince McMahon or somebody had said that he should be hanging from like hanging like that, like, and whoever got him would bring him down
hanging the
from
kid.
there. Yeah. I always send my coworker gifts of Ric Flair on Teams. Woo. Yeah, no, I love Ric Flair. You know what? How far would he have gone if he was wrestling in the era of wow? I don't know if he'd still be wrestling. He probably would have retired a couple years ago, but I would have loved to have seen him against the Cena from now, against Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Like I always think about that
just
stuff.
making comebacks every now and then would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen Eddie Guerrero with this generation because this generation would have been really interesting. Eddie Guerrero was a guy that he never had to change his persona. He could have been his persona for 15 years and the fans would have loved him. He would have been like the Undertaker all those years and he still would have been loved. So I definitely this is a good one. Kurt versus Chris Benoit, WrestleMania 17. That was a really good match. Oh, well, that would have been a little Guerrero versus Alberto Del Rio. That would have been interesting.